Hi guys, I'm Ray from Bake with Ray. Welcome to the Ramadan series.
I'll be uploading recipes for Ramadan for the next 30 days, but don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell icon so you can get a notification for every time that I post a recipe.
Assalamu alaikum my lovelies. Hope Ramadan is going well and fasting is going well. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this delicious lamb karhai. We're going to start off by making a ginger and garlic paste. So we want a full bulb of garlic and peel and cut that and put it in a blender, and also about 1.5 inch piece of fresh ginger, again peel and cut and put into a blender. Add some water into your blender and then blend into a nice fine paste. Then you want to get your wok or your karhai ready and then add in your oil to that. Let it heat up slightly, add in your ginger and garlic paste. There's no onions in this recipe, so the ginger and garlic is what makes up the majority of the masala alongside the tomatoes. So then you want to add in your lamb. I used lamb shoulder here. You can use any cut of lamb, or you can even use mutton as well. Then you go ahead and add in your salt, and then you want to saute your lamb and your ginger and garlic for a few minutes until it begins to change color and the smell of the ginger and garlic changes. You don't want it to get too brown. You go ahead and add the rest of your spices: black pepper, cumin, coriander, some basaar. I'll explain a bit about that more in the description box. If you don't have basaar, I'll write what you can use instead. Then stir fry those for about a minute or so, so the spices cook through. Then you want to go ahead and add a cup of water. Mix it through and then let it come to a boil. Once your water is boiling, you can cover it with a lid and then put it on a low heat and allow it to simmer for about an hour until the meat is cooked through. Now I didn't have a lid for my karhai. It just didn't come with a lid, so I used a normal pot lid, which is why it doesn't fit on top properly. But ideally you want to buy one that has a fitting lid. Anyway, while your lamb is stewing, you can go ahead and prep your tomatoes by chopping them up into small pieces. Oh, I don't know why I'm stirring so much today. And put them in a plate ready. If you don't like skin, obviously there's a lot of tomatoes here, so there'll be a lot of skin. If you don't like it, you can remove the skin before you chop them up. That's entirely up to you. Chop up a couple of green chillies as well. Once your meat is ready, after about an hour, you want to check it to see that if it should be like 90% done. It should be nice and soft. If it isn't, then you want to let it simmer for a little bit longer. Once it is ready, then you want to chuck in your tomatoes and your chilies. And now this is where you're just going to be stir frying for quite a while. So it takes about 10 to 12 minutes for this to happen. But this is basically almost the last stage. You're just gonna, on a high heat, just continuously stirring those tomatoes. They're gonna release a lot of water, and this whole thing is just gonna cook together and come together slowly. So just stir every so often in between as the tomatoes begin to reduce and the whole thing cooks down and comes together. So like I said, it's going to take about 10 to 12 minutes for this to happen. Eventually you will get to this kind of point where it's kind of reduced down and the oil begins to separate slowly. Once the oil has completely separated like this, that means your masala is ready. Your karhai is basically ready. So at this point, I just pointed out that you can see the oil on the edges. At this point, you want to add in 2 bullet chilies. They kind of add like a jarry flavor. Add half a cup of water and then stir that through and then allow it to simmer for about 5 minutes just to get the flavor of those coming through. Then just turn off the heat and it's ready. You want to finish it off with some garam masala and some kasuri methi and also some fresh ginger slices. Entirely optional. I also added a handful of fried onions just because I thought they might be nice. And that is it. That is your lamb karhai ready. No onions involved in this process. Enjoy it with some soft homemade naan or whatever you like. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Enjoy.